As Sarah mentioned earlier, we're just going to have a look at how to set up the Twitter and Facebook accounts for the Weaving Connections. So I'll just run through that quickly. So when you set up your Facebook account for the first time, you are restricted to having a personal Facebook page before you can set up a business page, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. But it's really easy. Basically, all you do is you come in, you pop in your details, and they'll set up the account for you. So because I don't have a personal account set up for Weaving Connections, I'm going to set it up off my account. And what I can then do is transfer the administration to Sarah or anybody else who wants to look after that once it's set up. And that's one of the great things with Facebook. You can actually get multiple administrators in, so you can have different people in and working the page, or you can switch it across as you need. Alright, so I've taken it to facebook.com/pages, and this brings you to the interface where you can elect to set up a new page. So if we just click on the little create page icon on the top right, and so this gives us a bunch of selections depending on what our brand or product is. So if you've got a product that you're launching, you can launch it as a product. There's options there for community, for artists, local businesses. So again, if you're a local business with an actual bricks and mortar store, that'll give you some options like the Google Places and the maps that you can actually have on the page. So once you've selected which category you want it in, you can then go through and select which sort of business that it is, and we're a community organisation. Would that be good? Okay. And the company name. So we're setting this up as the Weaving Connections site. Okay, so it's really simple. It takes you through a step-by-step process. So you can go back to these at a later stage. So we don't have our images with us at the moment, but you can upload images of again, like the banner that I had on mine, and you can set that to use as your avatar. And you can use your photos for your profile and those sorts of things. So it's really simple. You just click on that. You can choose where you want to upload that from, either from your computer or a USB stick or wherever you want to go. The next step then is you can invite your friends. So if you've got a new page and you want to get some people on there, you can actually send out a little invitation to everybody to come and join you. So once you're up here, you can see that I don't have very many friends, but you can select any of these friends that you think might be interested in your page and send them along to have a look. So that'll send out a little message to them. You can even import contacts, so you can bring in people from your Skype account. Your other tools gives you the option to import from your Outlook email, or if you've got a Hotmail address, all those things can be imported in. So then you can also send out like a little email address to everybody that you want to have come in to the page. Yes, if they have a Facebook account, absolutely. So yeah, so it's a really quick, easy way to make that connection. And then finally, you can pop on there your website address and a little description about your business and what you do and who you are. So you can see once you've gone through those stages that you've then come to the Get Started page. And so if you've missed any of those steps along the way, you can come through and add those in. And basically, that is all there is to setting up your account. You've got some other little options under there, so you can do a new post update. So that's it. We've just done our first little post there. So anybody that we've invited that comes onto the site and has a look can now come in and like it and interact with it. To go and change some of those things again, you can go into your little edit page, and that'll take you through a raft of options here on the left. So again, you can go to your settings, you can manage your permissions, so whether you want for your clients or customers or people that are interacting with you, whether they can add tags or whether they can add photos and videos. You might decide that you don't want them to be able to do that. You can block people out if you're getting people that are causing you grief and you can't sort of get them to cooperate and not be horrible. There's the option there if you really don't want it anymore that you can delete your page. It does take some time for that to come through. So again, this is where you can go through and just add some more information, put your address details, put a description of who you are, upload your profile picture. Again, you just sort of upload from your little button. Another really great tool if you've got some partnerships or business that you align yourself with is you can choose to feature those pages on your home page. So for instance, with Sally and myself, when you go to my home page, you'll see Sally's little Facebook link there, and that's always there to everyone that sees it. Normally that will randomly change it up, but again, if you've got anybody in particular that you want to promote or that you're affiliated with, you can make theirs stay there, which is a really easy way to make that connection. And this is where you come in to find all your resources. So things like advertising on Facebook, the little ads that come up on the side, you go through these pages to set those up. This is where you get to set up your social plugins. You can invite your email contacts. There's the Facebook help. Best practices, so what Facebook recommend that you do or don't do to get the most out of your page. So there's a stack of information there. Managing your admins, so again, like I said, once I'm done with this today, I'll pop somebody else on from the RDA to then take over this page and transfer the administration ship on that one. Your apps, this is where you can start putting in some fun things, so you know, with your uploading videos and bits and pieces, and you can search for different apps, and once you start to get to know the programs and some of the different things people can do, you go, oh, I want that on my page. Just search under the apps, and that should come up with those sorts of things. You can link it to your mobile, and again, the Facebook Insights, which helps you then understand exactly what's going on your page. And once that's set up, you'll start getting some details as to how many likes, how many people are interacting, which age groups and demographics. So once you've got some of that information in place, it really provides a gold mine to know then who you're targeting your Facebook advertising to, because it tells you where they're from, which states, which towns, which ages. There's a bunch of stuff in there. So that's the basics of setting up a Facebook page. You can go in and fiddle around and do a lot of things, but that's pretty much where you access all of that material. Okay, well, first of all, Facebook kind of frown on you using a personal profile to promote business. So if you read their guidelines, you will see in there that they don't like people using personal profiles for commercial or financial gain. So that's one of the reasons to avoid doing that. And also, there's some different tools that you can use between the two platforms as well. So the business page gives you the insights, so that's where you can see how things are connecting, whereas you don't get that on the personal page. So again, that's where if you're doing that marketing side of things and wanting to, even if you're not using Facebook ads, it's still really great to see who you're connecting and what's happening. So there are some differences. One thing that does annoy me with Facebook is the fact that when you have likes, it only likes personal profile pages. Another business page that comes and likes your page isn't counted as a like. So it won't show up in the numbers, and it does not show up in the analytics either. And I personally think that's a bit of an oversight, but just if you're aware of that, you might, you probably got 500 fans instead of 100 if you've got business pages. With the invitation one that you send out, you can send those out to...
how do you send out the invitation?
So when you go into... where am I?
So invite them to like your page?
This is where you can email your contacts. So like Chris was saying, if you've got...
resources.
Yeah.
When you first set it up.
So when you first, yeah, so you can send out an invitation to your business contacts, and the other thing too is to sort of interact on other people's pages. So if you go and like their page and they see you, yeah. So again, it's that being very sociable, and it does take time for it to grow. So yeah, the invitations is one way of getting it out there, but as far as getting on everybody else's page, that's just a matter of leaving comments and interacting, and hopefully then they interact back with you. So. And it does take time. Certainly the first 100 that I got was taking forever and a day. The second 100 went a lot faster, because obviously the more people that are in your network, the broader your reach is, the more people see you. And things like tagging other people's pages, when you're giving friendly shout outs to people, they'll then do that as well. So, it's sharing the love. At their discretion, they can take it down. So, look, you see them all the time. I see personal Facebook profiles used as business ones all the time. Like I said, it goes against Facebook's best practices, which can be found down in your little resource tab as well. And I'd advise anyone to have a look through that, because you might get away with it for a while, you might get away with it for years. But Facebook might come onto that one day and just go, yep, we're not happy with that, and yoink, you're gone. So, you know, while people do it, I wouldn't recommend it. And especially now that Facebook have rolled out the new timeline for personal pages, and so people are seeing this beautiful big advertising space, and, you know, there's some high profile bloggers out there using it, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd stick to best practices. I didn't spend a cent on traditional advertising because when I came into it I had really limited resources. So I had a lot of time, which was great, so I set up my social media accounts, my Facebook, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and got busy sort of making connections. A couple of months ago now, it's been a while, but I did a bit of a breakdown of the statistics just to see what was happening with it all, and I found that I had 40% of converted jobs, so ones that became paying clients, came from Facebook and Twitter alone, and another 40% came from an online business forum that I partake in. So 80% of my work had come through just 3 online mediums. And again, like I don't really use LinkedIn a lot. I have an account, but for me Facebook and Twitter work better. I know another girl who's shut down her Facebook because LinkedIn and Twitter work better for her. So it's giving it that time and seeing how they work, but then also not sort of flogging a dead horse either. So, you know, you just need to play with these things and see how they go. And they can, if used well, be quite effective tools. That's Facebook. I had a little program that I did the graphics in, and save that as a JPEG, and then where I go to upload my profile picture, I just upload that banner, and then under, because I don't have a banner here to show you at the moment, I apologise for that, once you've got your picture loaded up, underneath it'll say edit thumbnail, and so that'll help you set the section that you want to use for your avatar, because you're only allowed a square thing. So out of that banner you can sort of make sure that you've got a section that you want to use on that as well. But yeah, it's something that a lot of businesses don't really utilise as well as they probably could. I've used a free online program called Wordle, which I can feed in all sorts of words, which gives me my sort of background, and then I took that into another free online tool called Photoscape, and it's kind of like a Photoshop kind of tool where you can tweak and crop and recolour and resize and do all sorts of things. And again, I've just Googled like free photo manipulation tools or free, you know, whatever. So again, there's so many tools out there. So if you're sort of thinking, I'd like to be able to do this, just Google it and see what comes up. You'll find that you're really amazed at what's out there. They need to come and like you for that to pop up in theirs. Or if somebody that you like, or somebody who's liked your business then likes something in your post, their friends will see it as well because they've liked it. So they're, you know, so if Fred comes along and likes my page and then likes something on my page, Fred's friends will then see what he's liked. So again, it's those connections.
How do you do it? Because it doesn't always automatically come up anymore, does it?
Yeah. Sorry, I understand what you're getting at.
Well,
Yeah.
In the home one, because you've got the one.
Yeah, they have changed it though now that it used to be that it was chronologically listed. Now what happens is you need to be able to, and we probably won't see it. I'll just click it back into mine for a minute just so I can show you.